On Saturday, I made my first visit to Hummingbird Speedway this season. Starting off the evening were the steel block late models. Eric Moore in the 00 started on the pole position of the 25-lap event. At the drop of the green, we have the 14 of Derek Rodkey working the inside of Rick Maxim for second place. As they head into turn 3, they are about even. As they come down to complete the first lap, Maxim edges ahead at the line. Then going through turns 1 and 2, Maxim secured the second position. While Moore continued to lead the field, Dwayne Brooks in the white number 1 races door to door with Bob Connor for the 4th spot. Brooks would take the position just before a caution would come out on lap 4. On the restart, it looks like Maxim may take the lead away from Moore. Moore uses the outer groove to maintain the lead, while Brooks tries to take 3rd place away from Rodkey. Brooks continues to inch ahead as they go through turns 3 and 4. He then powers off of the bottom of 4 to move into 3rd. Later, Maxim would coast to a stop with mechanical problems, which ended his race. As he had during a couple of restarts earlier in the race, Moore is able to keep a slight lead on his pursuers. He starts to pull away from Brooks before they again race through turns 3 and 4. Moore powers off of the top side to lead another lap. Another caution would bunch the field. Brooks has problems exiting turn 2. Rodkey shoots to the outside of him, while Connor is not far behind in 4th. Rodkey makes the outer groove work for him as he takes the runner-up position away from Brooks. Lap after lap, Rodkey ran on the bottom and Moore chose the top. Rodkey was able to even lead a lap before Moore was able to retake the position. Rodkey would win the drag race down the backstretch, but Moore made the outer groove work to his advantage by the time they came around to complete another lap. Eric Moore was able to hold off Derek Rodkey the rest of the way to pick up his 3rd win of the season. Eric, congratulations on the win, initially holding off Maxim and there at the end holding off Rodkey.
Yeah, I mean, Rodkey's been pretty strong up here the last couple of years, and actually had me a little nervous there. I seen his roof underneath of me, but I was able to stay on the throttle and pick up the win tonight here at Hummingbird.
Now it shows here at Hummingbird that he was running low and you were running high, yet it all seemed to even out with you just edging past him.
Yeah, the top line seems like it's coming here at Hummingbird the last couple of years, and that seems like the place to be. So that's where I was running at. So.
Well, you've got some wins, but you're not quite up there in points. What's been happening this season?
Well, I don't points race anymore. This car here is a new car, and we're trying to feel our way through it. And actually, we're trying to get her dialed in a little better than what it is tonight. So we'll see what happens here the rest of the season. But like I say, we don't points race a whole lot. We go for the wins.
Anyone you'd like to thank real quickly?
I'd like to thank my crew there. They've done a good job tonight. And I'd like to thank FDR and Subway out of Clearfield for the sponsorship on the car this year.
Brooks, Connor, and Paul Cott round out the top 5 in the steel block late models. The front row of the 20-lap street stock feature was made up of Brandon Connor in the 05 and his father Ed in the 33 ride. Through many laps and a number of cautions, this is the way the feature played out during the first half of the event. Ed Connor would lead, with Brandon Connor side by side with him or just on his rear bumper. Bruce Hartsfeld in the 101 and the 22 of Skip Lindemuth would battle for the 3rd position. Joe Cott in the red 33 held the 5th position, with Kyle Shannon eventually joining the mix. Ahead of them was Hartsfeld. Then Cott and Shannon get together to bring out yet another yellow. At the halfway point, Ed Connor still held a slight lead over his son. They began to pull away from Lindemuth, who had to battle Hartsfeld. On a single file restart, Ed Connor gains 3 car lengths on Brandon Connor. Lindemuth works underneath the 05 machine exiting turn 2. They are even as they enter turn 3. Lindemuth hugs the bottom of the turn and edges past the 05 and into 2nd place. Another caution sets up this restart. Immediately, Lindemuth looks for a way to take over the lead by working the lower groove. He and Ed Connor would race side by side for another lap before the 22 took sole possession of 1st place. Shannon does a nice 360 on the backstretch with a little help from Cott. No yellow. The Connors continued to pursue Lindemuth as the laps wound down, but Brandon would relinquish 3rd place with this spin in turns 1 and 2. During the remaining laps, Ed Connor followed Lindemuth before pulling even with him on the last lap. They would drag race to a photo finish. Congratulations, Ed, on the win, and you and Brandon side by side, and who's the tail there for most of the race.
Yeah, we like to run close. We got pretty equal cars, so he does a pretty good job. I like racing with him. We have a lot of fun.
Now, I imagine it's a little tough being teammates and family having to run for wins like that.
Yeah, we still talk at home, so we don't make enemies at the track.
Now, eventually, Lindemuth caught you. Did you think you could get back around him?
Yeah, when he got around me, I thought it was kind of over because my car wasn't as good as I thought it was. And then after seeing him sneak around the bottom, I thought there must be something down there, so I went down and gave it a try, and it pulled off for me. So.
And as a fan, I'd like to thank you, and I'm sure fans in the attendance here would also like to thank you for that. That was quite a show.
Thanks. They couldn't ask for any closer racing than that because I wasn't sure whether he won or I won. But the photographer said it was me, so we'll take her a run.
Bruce Hartsfeld, Joe Cott, and Ben Smith finished 3rd through 5th in the street stocks. Coming up in the next segment, we will go back to Hummingbird Speedway for more feature action, as well as more highlights from Thursday evening at McKean County Raceway. Pit Pass returns right after this.
It's known as the Tricky Triangle, a track whose sum total equals a challenge like nowhere else.
Smoke is boiling between Bush and Johnson.
It is Pocono Raceway, where the first race was won by a king. Every race is full throttle to the photo finish.
Virtual dead heat.
And wrecks are not the end, but the start of a comeback. This is Pocono Raceway, where history is measured in right angles.